Hi, and welcome back to Getting Saucy TV. I'm Chef Jennifer Basil, and we are gonna do some more desserts because you guys asked for them, so here you go. We are going to start with Bomboloni. I don't know, I just like to say that. It sounds like a song almost. They are Italian donuts. Again, Italians eat pastries for breakfast or dessert, so we're gonna show how versatile an Italian donut or bombolone can be. To start off, we're going to put some warm milk, about 110 degrees, and some active yeast together. I'm doing this in a stand mixer with a dough hook because we're creating donut dough. So the warm milk goes in, sprinkle the yeast on top, and we're gonna add just a pinch of sugar. It's almost like food for the yeast, and we're gonna let that sit for about 10 minutes. Once that sits, we are gonna add all of our other ingredients and create our dough. All right, our yeast looks nice and happy, like it's well fed with that sugar. So we're gonna add our other ingredients. We are going to add flour. Ooh, I'm lucky I didn't make a mess today. If you haven't seen my other episodes, I always get flour on my dress when I bake or do anything with flour. It's like I'm cursed or something. We're gonna add our sugar. We're gonna add 2 eggs. I've cracked them already in this bowl because you don't wanna crack them directly into here. If a shell gets in here, you've gotta start all over. So 2 eggs, butter that's been softened. We're gonna bring this together. I'm using a dough hook instead of the paddle attachment or the whisk attachment. And we'll get this combined, and then I'm gonna add some salt, some lemon zest for flavor, and some vanilla. As this comes together, we're ready to add the lemon zest, vanilla, and a little bit of salt. And once this forms a nice dough, we're going to put it in an oiled bowl, cover that with a towel or plastic wrap, and place it somewhere warm so it can double in size. So our dough has come together. We're gonna knead it just a little bit. Let me grab some flour so it doesn't stick. Lightly flour the surface. We don't want to add too much flour to the mixture itself. And when you knead, you want to push down, turn it about a quarter, push down again, turn it about a quarter. And what we're doing when we knead it is we're tightening up the glutens in the dough. So you just have to do this for a few minutes. And I have greased this with some olive oil. We're going to turn this, put this in the olive oil bowl, and we do that so it doesn't stick when we come out. We're gonna cover it with a towel or some plastic wrap. We're gonna sit it somewhere warm, so like in your kitchen, if you have the oven on, don't put it in the oven, but like near it, somewhere warm. We're gonna let this double in size. Now, this is gonna take an hour or 2, so I actually have some pre-made. And the next step to rolling these, or getting this ready, is we're gonna take that dough out, knead it again. It's good for working out your arms. And then, once we've got this kneaded for a few minutes, we're gonna break off little balls to create our donuts. Depending on how big you want your donuts to be, probably about tennis ball size, a little bit bigger than a golf ball, I would say. And we're just gonna roll these out, press them down just a bit, not too much, because you want a fluffy donut, right? So if you flatten it too much, you're not gonna get that nice rise. And we're gonna let this sit and rise again for another hour. We're gonna move on to our second recipe, and when we come back, we're gonna finish our bombolone. While our bomboloni are resting and rising, let's move on to an actual dinner or lunch dish. We are going to make Pollo alla Pizzaioli, which is basically chicken in a pizza sauce that's made in the pan. So to start, we are going to actually dredge our chicken, get it in the pan, and get like a light browning on it. So let's take some beautiful olive oil. And the one thing about Italian cooking is they use really good quality ingredients. Everything is grown organically. It is harvested when it's ripe. It's not transported across the country 3 days, after it's picked when it's still green. Their tomatoes are fresh. It just creates a different flavor when you taste food in Italy. So we're going to use organic products when we can. We're going to use non-GMO, and we're going to try to create those wonderful high quality flavors. So I'm using a very nice olive oil, just a light drizzle in the pan. We don't want it to be greasy, so not too much. And let's get our heat on and get that going. While we do that, let me go ahead and get some of the flour seasoned, and we'll dredge the chicken. To season our flour, we're gonna put some salt. Don't be stingy. Some pepper. You could certainly add some garlic powder if you wanted to, but we're actually gonna put fresh garlic in this recipe. So just kind of mix that up. We've got the pan hot because we want to get a nice golden color. So start with high heat. We're gonna turn it down once we put the chicken in so that the chicken can cook through. So we're just gonna dredge that in flour. And I wanna make sure that that olive oil coats that pan because this is a non-stick pan. And that oil is what's gonna create a barrier so that my meat doesn't stick, which also means I can't touch it until it's cooked on that side. We'll get all 3 pieces in there. And the other thing when you're making this recipe, I'm just doing a few pieces of chicken, but if you're cooking for the masses, if you're doing a lot of chicken, don't overcrowd the pan. What happens is that creates a lot of moisture in the pan and you won't get that browning. So make sure you just put enough chicken in and it's not overcrowded when you're browning your chicken. So we're getting a beautiful golden color on the chicken. We're not necessarily cooking the chicken all the way through because it's gonna go back in our pan sauce and it'll finish cooking that way, but it's mostly cooked. So let's remove these from the pan. That pretty color. Now I'm gonna turn my heat down, add some more olive oil, and we are going to saute some garlic and onion. I'll get that in there. I always put, if I have the opportunity, I try to put something in the pan first before I throw my garlic in because garlic can burn really fast and it gets really bitter if it does. So we add our onion and garlic and we're just gonna let that sweat. So we're gonna let it become a little bit translucent and softened. And then we're gonna add some cherry tomatoes, a wonderful tomato puree, and our herbs, and we'll pop the chicken back in. So this will just take a second for this to soften. Let me move this out of the way, and while that's cooking, let's cut these in half. We want these to blister, so I'm gonna add them before I add the tomato puree. So just have them, and we'll toss them in. This is a really sharp knife. It's a new knife, and the guy who made it for me made a blue handle to go with my blue kitchen. This is chicken in a pizza sauce. So we see the versatility. This is not my pizza sauce recipe, which you can find by going to my website. All my recipes are there at jenniferbasil.com. But it's got all the flavors and ideas of like a pizza. So we'll add these and let them blister for just a second. We can turn the heat up because that's gonna make them blister quicker. And once those blisters, we'll finish the sauce. Okay, you can see that the tomatoes have softened. They're starting to pop or blister, as we would call it in chef world. Now I'm going to add my tomato puree, and Muti is a brand from Italy, so we know that the tomatoes before they were pureed came fresh, they're organic. And I love that they put it in a glass bottle, so you don't have to worry about the tinniness that you would get from a canned tomato. And you can also recycle the bottle if you want to, and take the label off, use it as a jar, store some stuff in it, put flowers in it. I don't know, I do that with my wine bottles. I save the bottles and put my flowers in it. And then let's add some seasoning. So salt and pepper, we always want to layer our every part of the dish. So we'll add some salt, some pepper. I've got some fresh oregano. Let's chop that up real quick. And in my pizza sauce, I use oregano more than I do basil. In my spaghetti sauces or my ragouts or bolognese, it's more basil forward. I think that's what makes the flavor of pizza really come alive, is that oregano. And when you're adding fresh herbs, you want to kind of add it at the end, not in the beginning of a sauce, because they will, you know, get brown and wilted as they cook longer. And they also have a really nice fresh flavor, so you don't need quite as much when you're using fresh as you would dried herbs. So we'll give that a mix. Let that all get incorporated. I'm gonna put the chicken back in so the chicken can finish cooking. And then we'll top that chicken with some mozzarella, just like a pizza. Okay, the chicken's cooked. We've put some mozzarella on it, and the mozzarella that I got, I have to do a shout out to my friend Paula Lambert. She has the mozzarella company here in Dallas and makes just the most wonderful cheese. And I believe she just was named one of the top 50 cheesemakers in Food and Wine magazine recently. So fantastic fresh mozzarella that she makes. Let's put this on a plate. It's Italian, so let's go family style. Look at that, ooh, gooiness. I don't know about you, I'm hungry. Kind of layer it, oh my goodness. Let me turn that off so we don't start a fire. And I don't know, let's put some basil on it just to make it pretty. Now, you know that I can't be getting saucy unless I'm getting saucy. So, the perfect thing to go with this is a Valpolicella. This is an Italian wine. It's red, it's got some earthiness and some spiciness that would go perfect with pizza or our Pollo alla Pizzaioli. We cannot have dinner without dessert, so back to the Bomboloni. We have let this rise a second time, and I've got oil hot. We are going to fry these babies. Easiest way to not get a burn on your arm, which just proves I am a chef, because chefs always burn and cut themselves, is to put this on the spoon and drop it in. That way you don't have to worry about it splattering all over you. This is a smaller pot, so I'm only gonna do a couple at a time, but we're gonna let those fry up. When they come out, we're gonna let them drain a little bit, because we don't want greasy donuts, on a wire rack. But before they get cold, we're gonna rub them in powdered sugar, which is a classic way to have bomboloni. We fried our donuts, we've put the sugar on them. They look beautiful. Didn't they come out nice and fluffy? Now, for breakfast, bomboloni as a donut. But we're talking about how recipes are versatile. So we used a pizza sauce with our chicken. Let's make this a dessert now. How about we slice one in half, take some gelato. Talenti makes a great gelato, or you can go look up my recipe on how to make gelato. This is a bourbon fudge brownie, because besides wine, I like to drink bourbon. And we're gonna make an ice cream sandwich. Perfect for summer, warmer weather that's coming. Look at that. I have sugar all over my face. It is so good. I hope you had fun learning how we could take Italian flavors and make versatile dishes with them. We did bomboloni, the donuts, and then we made ice cream sandwiches with the donuts, and we made Pollo alla Pizzaioli. Of course, you know me, I've got to have my wine. If you want those recipes and more, please go to jenniferbasil.com and follow me on my social media.